Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome back to Prehistoric Kingdom and our wonderful prehistoric preserve. I hope you are looking forward to today because I am. It is Thursday when this video actually goes live, which means it is our non-paddock design where we focus on the park overall. So if you're new here, this is what we do every episode. Every other episode, we switch between a paddock design and we switch between a park design. Now, in between those episodes, I may do things that I don't record. And I don't record them for various reasons, be it I think it's pretty boring, you know, like these lights, for instance, that I'm about to talk about. I don't consider that good content. And I don't know that anyone would just watch me install lights throughout a park. I might be wrong, but regardless, there are things of that nature that I will do in between episodes that I just don't feel necessarily need to be seen. And I'll update you at the beginning of the next one. But today is an actual design that we focus on in the park. And what I'm going to do is I realize that I've been talking a lot about the kids. Our entire area over here is pretty much dedicated to kids' interaction with dinosaurs because it's kind of a low-key entrance into that world. I've mentioned that several times, and I'm thinking of my own children as well. They would want to see these more tame, docile dinosaurs before they would want to get into the thick of it. But I realize so far, in our main entrance, we don't have anything really catered to children. So I think in today's episode, we are going to build kind of like a dinosaur excavation thing, and then something else. I'm not quite sure. Maybe like a small little water park or something to that degree. I'm kind of on the fence about how far we get. And I'm going to try and keep these episodes a little bit shorter for a little while. Life is very busy for me, but I don't want to lose my dedication to the park. So I have to balance my time with your time and how far we progress in between these episodes. But before we begin, before I update you on some other things, if you enjoy any part of this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, sub to the channel, turn on bell notifications. You can comment, you can share. All those things help the engagement factor with YouTube and what needs to happen there. Now, updating you on the things. So I mentioned that we have our light system. Lights are here throughout most of our pathways now. I need to focus on here. We need to put some lights up on the bridge. But overall, I think it's quite successful and working very well. Also, in order to power these lights, I had to install a handful of turbines throughout the park in places that make sense. Now, of course, I'll kind of keep these sort of out of sight to where you don't see the less appealing look here. But outside of that, we are going to have to install that stuff. I hope they do more power options in the future. Don't know exactly what that would look like, but we'll address it when we get there. A couple of other things that I've added. We now have what I have dubbed the CERATOPSIAN Center. This is the, again, kind of, what are you doing there? What are you doing there? No, sir. Thank you. This is kind of just our area dedicated to several ceratopsian species. Because that's all that's over here. So we have our bigger boys over here. Our Ceratops, or PROTOCERATOPS, one of the two. And then our Psittacosauruses as well. And just kind of giving people an idea on what they're going to get here. I almost want to put like ideal for children kind of a deal. But you know, we'd probably put that in like a park type map, which maybe we'll make a map and update it as we go. That would be cool. Update a prefab so that way we can constantly add on to our park. That's a good idea. I'm actually going to write that down real quick. Hold on. We're doing that live because that's fun. Make park map that I can update as a prefab. Boom, it's there. Cool. But regardless, I think this looks pretty good. I like how it turned out. It's just a neat little way to introduce people. But also, you'll notice that this wasn't here last time. I mentioned that I would take one of the Psittacosauruses and I would make another exhibit. And these Psittacosaurus is the Psittacosaurus. I call it a Psittacosaurus.
You might not realize that this was one of the first ceratopsians. It may lack a frill and forward projecting horns, but you can still see the resemblance in its strong beak and its cheek horns.
So yes, the Psittacosaurus, excuse me. So someone had mentioned they wanted me to do a desert one with this is the Mongolinese Ceratopsian or Psittacosaurus. The problem is that currently the game does not support a desert biome. It doesn't exist. It is one of the early access woes, as I would call it. So we had to go coastal, and for that reason, that is why we have our Psittacosaurus coastal region, which I still think looks great. And plus, I'm not gonna lie, I guess you can't really see through the trees or through, oh my word, oh my goodness. But it would just be cool to be like, okay, well this is relevant and I have more of these guys back here. What if they actually went for accuracy with their exhibits? And looky there, we sure as heck do. So I think it works. I don't think we're gonna have a waterfall in every single thing of every single way. We don't have a waterfall here. We don't have a waterfall here. I think there are appropriate times for a waterfall, and I think we'll be able to juggle that fairly well. But that's pretty much the extent of everything I've done so far, and it's relatively simple. This didn't take but like, I'm not even kidding you guys, like maybe 5 or 6 minutes of real time. And since I usually condense those, I don't know, maybe it would be worth condensing something like this to a 1 minute short, which I think would be probably quite relevant, you know, be able to condense that into 1 minute just for some short feels and appeals. Maybe we'll do that in the future. That's a good idea as well. But we have a little bit of admin tasking to do, and I think what we are actually going to do is move this stuff. Actually, we're not going to move that in. We're going to delete this road because I don't feel like it's necessary. Even when things get stupidly busy, I think we'll still be okay. And then that way I can line this up a little bit. We're doing things live. I mean, this is part of the episode of keeping things fresh, so not everything is a time lapse. Line it up there. We're good to go. Oh, okay, I hit the check button. Game. Don't toy with me. Why aren't you accepting my move? Okay, this is a little bit frustrating. Do I have to move everything in the prefab? There we go. Okay, maybe that was it. And then I can move this entire thing up as well. There we go. That works. All right, and then we can move these over. This was something I also did quickly beforehand. And then we can move this down to here. You duplicate that. Technically, this will become part of... I think that's good. Aside from the clipping. We just gotta ignore the clipping when we get up close. Maybe that's something they'll fix in the future, because that is a mite bit frustrating. But yeah, I think that works a lot better. I think that has some pretty good appeal to it. It appears we have a poop problem over here. Visible dung. Well, there's always going to be visible dung. But yeah, I think it would be really cool. We do have different things we can do here. I mean, there's various dinosaur fossils and stuff. So my thought is that we go with natural, which is a gravel path. We're not going to make it too big. The question is, do we do something a little more official? Or do I make it kind of just the typical kind of crazy curvy path? I kind of think we go kind of crazy curvy, just for kicks and giggles. We'll do two. Let's do a wider path. Do a wider path right here. But we gotta angle snap it. Just like this. There we go. Oh, boo. There we go. We could probably remove this guy as well. And this just looks like just the cut up path. It's okay. Let's go. You know what? Let's just. And then we can just extend it a little bit. That's not gonna work. We can move it just to where that lines up again. There we go. I'm okay with that. I think that looks as decent as it will get. There we are. Awesome. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and switch our time of day to more daytime. Here we are. Alright, so we got our main gravel path, and I think what we're going to end up doing is we're going to just remove this stuff. And I do think we add another gravel path, but this one's going to be, I think we're at 4 meters wide. Yep. Cool. And then, yeah, I say we... just have a nice little gravel path there, and then we're going to make an even smaller one that kind of just kind of loops around back here. Let's delete this one. Maybe we start it. Just a bit like that. And then we have even smaller paths. Just to like have some fun there. Cool. All right, so this is going to be kind of our water park area. So we are going to make it full of sand. Now this is coarse sand. Do we have nicer sand? We do have nicer sand. Oh, there we go. We might switch this out because that's really, really hard to see. What would we have? I don't want concrete. I don't want asphalt. A wood plank, would that even work? That looks a little funky. But it does kind of give it a beach vibe, maybe. Yeah, I can't say that I enjoy that. That does not spark joy for me. Modern hexagon? No. Oh, you know what? Do we have like a dirt path? I know we have gravel, but I want dirt. Maybe we just stick with it. Maybe I just stop being so picky, everybody. You know what? No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So what we can do, maybe. It's not even noticeable. Oh my word, that's funny. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we are going to add a low-key, because we do want to kind of keep these kids, these darn kids, contained. While also making it fun for them. Fun is extremely important. And then we might have a sitting area over here. I think I like that. Okay, but then comes the very simple... Well, I say simple. It's also quite dangerous if I'm really thinking about it. Because what we're gonna add is we're gonna add a few rocks. A few rocks to the area. Here we go. Just sink that thing. Actually, it would be... Ooh, we might have to build... We might have to build a playground. Based on this. It would be cool to have kind of a rock climbing playground. You can't deny it. And you know what? We could actually make all of these guys a little bit of a lighter color. Almost kind of like a sandstone. I mean, it would just be kind of nice to... Yeah, that's a little too obvious. Trying to think of how to approach this. Also, do note that all parents signed a waiver saying that we are not responsible for any injuries that occurred during your stay at Prehistoric Preserve. So, we've already got that. We've got that figured out. Let's do some small rocks. And then, we could add our volcano in here, guys. I guess our volcano doesn't actually exist. But that's... I think that's okay. Now what we're going to do... What am I doing in my life? Let's do this. Man, it's so hard to see, and that's so stinking bright. We may have to do a different... We don't need rock. Come on. And I don't know that we want grass either. It might have to be this this coarser sand. I think it'll be okay. Because this just looks like dirt. And we don't want grass. We don't want actual gravel. No, I think we're gonna have to go with the coarse sand. I think that looks good. I think that actually really does. Cool. All right, now we get back to our... There we go. We slap a few of these babies around. Are we actually in the ground? We are actually in the ground. Just kind of, you know, we can make them almost like little geysers. That's kind of, you know, the educational flip side of it. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, you know, geysers occurred during this time period. I don't have an educational segment for you guys. Not for this one. It would be actually kind of cool to have a like a little valve next to each one, should anything happen. Actually, we don't need it right next. There should be a master switch. Yep, that's fine. Because, I mean, the kids should be able to play. And then we're gonna have some variation here. You know, not all kids just want to be super wild and splashy everywhere. Some of them are rather chill. Maybe yours aren't. I know for certain mine are not. Here, we'll just we'll hide the master valve there. Alright, but then we're gonna straighten that. But then what I also want to do, let's get building this live. We're doing this live. Did that pass? No, it couldn't pass. Let's get our structures here. And then we will bring just like that. Let's get our steel beams on top of it. Oh, nope. Let's try that again. Now, naturally, obviously this wouldn't be enough to suffice. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna sink this in the ground a little bit. There we go. Naturally, this doesn't. It's got it's kind of embedded in there. But then we will come in with a couple of really thin metal beams if we've got really thin ones. Yeah, I don't think that's what I want. And this is too different. Now, I am no structural engineer. I would like to make that known. So if I do something that a structural engineer would not approve, let's just be glad that there's no such thing as building regulations in Prehistoric Kingdom. They don't exist, man. It is a bit basic, but I think it actually works really, really well. And then, of course, we could just, you know, blow the thing up. We could make this just absolutely ginormous. So if we move the whole thing, nope. We merge that, and then we do the whole thing. And that pipe is included. Sorry, split you from the group. We got the pool there. I really wish we could make, like, tiny, tiny little pools. But as you can see here, even at the smallest degree, I can't build anything because of how the system works. So unfortunately, it's not going to look as cool as it could. And maybe in the future we can fine-tune water to the degree that it would make sense, and we could, you know, actually do stuff with it. But for now, I think that's going to kind of have to be as good as it gets. From a cool little perspective, I mean, and we can even add, like benches and stuff in here as well. Let's go into guest facilities for seating. There we go. Do we have some tropical benches? Absolutely. So, you know, moms can try not to get wet. We know it's gonna happen though. I mean, there's just no way around it. You're at a water park. But this just gives, you know, kids some place to relax and play. We can slap mom and dad along these benches. And hope that they can stay as dry as possible. I like it. We need some vegetation. I don't like having none. And maybe we can slap some vegetation on the tops here. That even makes sense for stuff to grow on that. Maybe not. That's too square for my liking. You know, we need to hide the rather obvious shut-off valve. I just don't think plants would thrive here, and I don't know why we'd want to put them there. I mean, what we could do is we could almost add like little pots and stuff to the area, but I don't know that that's entirely necessary. We could, you know, just add some bushes. You know, some ferns and stuff. And then what we might do is we might even brush us a sand path. Just kind of right here. Officially, unofficially add some tables and whatnot. Add a couple of trash cans sprinkled throughout. And this is where we could totally add those plants. So we could even go to vegetation. Let's go with a wetland. Let's go with coastal. Oh no. I was like, why is it doing that? If we go one step up and add all these cool guys together. You know, just kind of try and herd finagle children in. If they can't really go anywhere, then I think they'd be a little bit less inclined. Goodness gracious, but I do love this little brush system. It works so well. I think we need to add a couple more things. It feels lacking, and I don't know if it's because there is kind of a lack of content that we can do. Oh, I know what we can do. I know what we can totally do. We're gonna do this, and then we're gonna wrap up the episode. What you're probably gonna end up seeing is a few segments of this video that sort of get time-lapsed. Just for the sake of time. But what if... Let's make this one a little bit darker. You know, we need to have a blend of colors. In order for things to look a little more natural. And then, what if we did our kind of waterfall? And we got something coming out of the... Yeah, that's not... Get rid of that. We need to move you guys closer. Let's just take you, duplicate you, and really make sure that we're paying attention to where the water's coming out of. And then there can just be, you know, be that idea of a little stream and whatnot. I mean, like, it's not going to be crazy. Because, I mean, look, folks. We got kids here. You have to kind of be mindful of the children. And then send, like, stuff squirting out the top. I wish that we could have kids here. Like, that would just be kind of cool. And then I think what we can also do is we can also just have fun little props. You know, we could have fun little props coming out of this. In fact, let me get that top guy. Nope, not that. If I can focus you and turn you, and I know turn you, is that not how you work? Well, that's a little bit disappointing. Come on, let physics win the day for once, or not win the day for once. And just have some fun stuff like that. I mean, like, these kids, are here to have fun. And I want them to have it. And it would just be kind of cool. Like, does this make sense? Absolutely not. Do I think kids would love it if there was some pipe vents sticking out of here? Absolutely I do. And then we can get in some trees. We don't need a stinking redwood. We don't need one of those either. I was thinking like a small guy, but apparently those don't exist. Like a pine, that's too big. That's too big. I don't know how to filter. It doesn't appear filtering works at the moment. There, oh, we found it, guys. I found the vegetation we need. Why didn't I think of that before? It's brilliant. There we go. This is what can go right by mom and dad as they watch their kids play around. That was the touch we needed. I have a little bit of a shorter guy. Weave in and out of there. And have different variations of... Okay, yeah, we need to turn this off. Very cool. That's what I needed. That's what I needed for myself to make me feel like this was the right move. We got a foxtail. We can make these a little bit bigger. Oh man, guys, I feel awesome about this now. Oh my word, there we go. And you know what, I think I'll add, you know what, we don't have enough, oh, there's so little time. I don't know what to name this spot. But honestly, like, look at this, like, this is pretty stinking cool. Just adds a fun little, small little break area. Of course, you know, the kids get in and the first thing they want to do is probably play in the water, which is fine. It's fine by me. My kids do it all the time, and we just deal with soaking wet clothes. That's just kind of what they have to do. Guys, I think this is it. Now, I'm going to add a sign, and I'll probably end up adding a sign for the thumbnail as well. So that way, we can, you know, designate it in the thumbnail of what exactly this is. But I really like how this turned out. This is just a cool kids play place. Just a nice little adventure of getting soaked, enjoying that hot sun. Of course, we'll add, you know, we'll end up adding lights to it and whatnot to really lighten it up so that way when it comes in. But oh my word, I do really enjoy how this turned out. Guys, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. We can see here that this doesn't make much sense, but that's okay. We did the best that we could to make a fun little water park, and we may make water parks like this throughout the entire place. Now, naturally, of course, in our conservation, they're being pulled from the river, which then filters back in through a system and probably will kind of self-sustain itself that way. Just a little tidbit there for you. But guys, I do hope you enjoyed this build of our little miniature kids water park. If you did, you know exactly what you need to do. You need to give it to the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel is one of the best ways to keep up to date with this series. You can also leave a comment on your thoughts, good or bad, as long as they are healthy and constructive. I will always accept them. And then, yeah, share it across any place that you want to. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I had a blast building this live for you guys. That's all I got. We'll see you in the next episode with our Cretaceous Valley paddock. This is Havoc, and I'll see you in the next one.
These are nature's greatest creations. This is your park. This is Prehistoric Kingdom.